Very good. Let's move on. Right now, I'd like to invite the next speaker. Interesting project with interesting name. Sergey Alyamkin, Technical Director in Expasoft, the project named ENOT. My name is Alyamkin Sergey. I represent ENOT project. It's a framework for compression and speeding the neural network speed. You all know that neural networks are surrounding us. Autopilot, voice assistants, applications in App Store, and neural networks are surrounding us. And right now, there was a big trend in transition from AI and neural networks and service to peripherals. For the development of such devices and for the development of such solutions, there is a next problem. We need to create a neural network which are very light and fast in order for them to be able to work with such peripherals. Such projects can be described with high level of risks which bring the increase of the deadlines and high level of unsuccessful projects. We do see our segment where this problem is the most acute are developers of AI applications for smartphones, smart cities, IoT, and robotic techniques. We plan to work, and we do work, with EU and CIS markets. This market is being estimated today on the level of $200 million, while it's actively growing more than 40% a year. And by 2026, it's going to be $1 billion. And it's a part of big global market, especially automation tools for AI. How are we planning to go to this market, and how do we plan to take a big share? By automation, the most labor-intensive part of the development of the AI for the peripherals. In other words, the process of learning, testing, and formulating new hypotheses. This is a cyclic process and takes up to 80% of labor intensity, and the process. You can use our framework in this level, and you can automate this process. The main topics, the framework allows you to compress neural networks down to 25 times, optimize the AI solution for any hardware platform, and by this allows you to reduce development deadlines down to 70%. The efficiency of the technology is confirmed not only by the project that we have confirmed, but also our victories in international competitions and largest international conferences dedicated to AI. Business model. We sold licenses for framework, and we have a number of pilots with big clients. The second option, SaaS, through services of partners. So we have integrated ourselves with SberCloud. ENOT is available through SberCloud, and the third topic is selling licenses of the framework to companies, manufacturers of end devices with AI included. The project team, me, Sergey Alyamkin, I work in this technology, in development of the artificial intelligence since the year 2018, and Vladimir Dubanov have signed more than 60 contracts on the development of the artificial intelligence count, and he has companies like Huawei, LG, Sony, 9 developers in our team, and the mission of our project is to transfer solution of the problem of compression and speeding up of the neural networks from the arts to engineering area. Our plan of development short term is entering the European market. Right now, we are making a company.
And we are releasing the new version of the platform. We've just released it. we want to create automation toolkit to develop AI solutions for peripheral devices. Thank you for your attention. Thank you. You've been super precise on timing. You even had 3 seconds to spare. Your compression algorithms are just perfect. So, I think the guys have been able to answer most of your trick questions. Well, I know this project called ENOT, directly translated as the badger into English. I call this, I call this sort of projects kind of the toolkits for gold miners, because those who provide tools for gold miners more often than not earn more than gold miners themselves. So the advantage of this product is that it can be a standard for the new and up-and-coming industry. And that is a disadvantage at the same time, because the winner gets it all. And you need to become the winner. American startups usually have an advantage here. They have advantage of access to opinion leaders, leaders of technologies, or vendors. And of course, they have access to more financial resources. So I'd like to support the guys and tell them to build their business up as quickly as possible, because they are narrowing a targeted niche of the market, those companies that lead in this hardware production. So it's easier to sell to this sort of client because this client understands what it needs. And this client is normally open to new and good solutions. But you need to be quick and you need to be good, because the window of opportunities might close very quickly. Somebody else will definitely implement a usable framework, and clients will be saying, why would we need anything else? Because stickiness of this product, as they say, is very, very high. So you have to rush the market as quickly as possible. You need to kind of occupy your niche. Really save the spot. Sergey, I don't know. You are being watched, actually. So you need to call dibs on that spot. So hope that our experts will not only support you with a piece of advice, but also with a piece of support, of money and investment. Konstantin, thank you. Indeed, I enjoyed the project, and let me say this. Starting with the name of Sberbank as a center for competencies in the domain of AI, in the market we really need this sort of infrastructure solutions. In this particular case, it's more about it's not about, I mean, it's not about the actual solution. It's more about like the shovel for gold diggers, for those who develop and integrate AI technologies. They need tools, and I'm very happy to see this sort of project that provides such tools. Out of complex things, I believe that we need to highlight here the fact that this is a specific B2B solution. This is infrastructure solution. That is why it needs crystalline clarity in terms of sales channels arrangement. How much are you going, how many clients are you going to service? How many people will be there in your sales team to service those clients? What are the channels of your sales department for communications with these clients? All of those things are critically important for your business to survive. So the more clarity you'll be able to provide there, the better. Thank you. Personally, on my behalf, the request is to pay special attention to this sort of projects in the framework of a Center of Competencies of Sberbank and its roadmap. Hope it will all come together. I'm handing the floor to Pavel. I loved the project too. If the country wants to have good machinery that needs to build machines, it needs to have the industry that builds machines. We need an industry that will build AI machines. I have two concerns. One, regarding cooperation with giants, tech giants, that might be welcoming. I mean, working with Huawei, for example. But you need to understand that this is a cooperation that needs to be carefully considered so that Russia does not lose your technologies and our colleagues would be able to, I mean, our Chinese colleagues might copy that solution. I'm not speaking particularly about Huawei. Of course, your technology must be unique, and the question is what you're going to do if some tech giant will just produce similar to your solution based on the same principles. And point two, regarding open source, we're promoting it, and as it has been said in the federal AI project, it's quite obvious that there will be some sort of open source solution, and you need to be ready to that as well. Or maybe you should even come in the front, and maybe you need to consider business models that will be partially open source, and you will be able to monetize based on that as well. And so I'm wishing you the best of success. I will continue Pavel's ideas because I fully agree that the edge solution, edge computing market is growing, but question, of course, about other tech giants is a very, very sensitive thing. What kind of income can you generate being a framework? I mean, we do not see companies that became successful and big while being just a framework. And we see the pressure on every side here. There's lots of investment into new chips, specifically for AGI, for acceleration of the chips. From Apple as well, hardware producers who are trying to provide new tools to developers and make those tools the parts of dedicated ecosystems. So we come up with some fine-tuned solutions that are tailored for specific industries. When you're a middleware or a framework, you might have gorgeous technology, which is very valuable for developers, but the value of the technology is not actually reflected in the value and income of your business. So you must understand clearly what part of value chain you actually aggregate and how you can be irreplaceable here without just being used. But value will all come into other channels and other parts of the value chain. Sergey, thank you again for this brief but informative presentation. I hope that the expert comments will become an encouragement for growth. Thank you for this very succinct presentation. I hope that experts' comments will not hinder your enthusiasm.